Welcome back, Ice and Fire fans, to the House of Vine podcast. In this video, we will continue learning all there is to know about Lord Brynden Rivers. We start part 2 with the reign of King Aerys I. Assuming the throne in 209 AC, Aerys, second son of Dagon II, never imagined he would ever be king. Many thought he was extremely ill-suited for the job, which is most likely the reason why Aerys appointed his uncle Brynden as Hand of the King. Bloodraven faced many obstacles while serving his nephew. The Hand and the rest of the small council knew that Bittersteel had made it across the narrow sea, and was sure to be plotting with the sons of Dagon Blackfyre. But other problems closer to home would soon pop up all over the realm. One example would be that of Dagon Greyjoy. Lord of the Iron Islands, Dagon had sent his ironborn to raid along the shores of the Sunset Sea, reaching as far south as the Arbor. We also hear from Sir Duncan that Dagon had sent men into the north, forcing Lord Baron Stark to gather men to fight them back. Let's head over to the Mystery Knight to listen to the conversation between Sir Duncan and two hedge knights by the names of Sir Kyle the Cat and Sir Maynard Plum.
Egg and I have a long journey before us. We are headed north to Winterfell. Lord Baron Stark is gathering swords to drive the Krakens from his shores for good. "Too cold up there for me," said Sir Maynard. "If you want to kill Krakens, go west. The Lannisters are building ships to strike back at the Iron Men on their home islands. That's how you put an end to Dagon Greyjoy. Fighting him on land is fruitless. He just slips back to sea. You have to beat him on the water." "The throne should take a lesson from Stark and Lannister," declared Sir Kyle the Cat. "At least they fight. What do the Targaryens do? King Aerys hides among his books. Prince Rhaegal prances naked through the Red Keep's halls, and Prince Maekar broods at Summerhall."
So in this little convo, we hear Kyle the Cat speak ill of the Targaryens. This will connect to the claim that Sir Eustace made about Bloodraven being a sorcerer. We will get to that part in due time, but first we need to talk about the epidemic that would become the newly appointed Hand's first real trial. Starting in 209 AC and lasting until the end of 210 AC, the event known as the Great Spring Sickness hit the Seven Kingdoms. The plague killed tens of thousands throughout most of the realm save for Dorne and the Vale. Major cities such as Lannisport and Oldtown were some of the most affected areas, but the worst took place in King's Landing. It is said that 4 out of 10 succumbed to this deadly sickness. It killed indiscriminately, regardless of status. Lowborn as well as highborn lives were taken by this plague. Not even the lives of Aerys' father nor the princes were spared, and the same can be said for that of the High Septon, a third of the most devout, and the Silent Sisters. The dead bodies of King's Landings grew too high, which left Lord Brynden only one option. He commanded that all the dead bodies should be dragged into the dragon pit, and then ordered the pyromancers to set the bodies ablaze using wildfire. Just as the spring sickness ended, another tragedy hit the kingdom, that tragedy being a drought. Lasting little more than a year, it caused the small folk to depart from their homes in search of a place where rain still fell. Lord Brynden ordered them to move back to their own lands, but few listened. Many of them blamed the Hand for the drought, cursing Bloodraven as a kinslayer. Once again, let's head back to the Sworn Sword. This time, a Septon Sefton, a Septon in service at Coldmoat, can give us a little insight of the Great Spring Sickness and the drought.
"Were you there during the Great Spring Sickness?" "Oh, indeed. A dreadful time, sir, dreadful. Strong men would wake healthy at the break of day and be dead by evenfall. So many died so quickly there was no time to bury them. They piled them in the dragon pit instead, and when the corpses were 10 feet deep, Lord Rivers commanded the pyromancers to burn them. The light of the fires shone through the windows, as it did of yore when living dragons still nested beneath the dome. By night you could see the glow all through the city, the dark, green glow of wildfire. The color green still haunts me to this day. They say the spring was bad in Lannisport and worse in Old Town, but in King's Landing it cut down 4 of 10. Neither young nor old was spared, nor rich nor poor, nor great nor humble. Our good High Septon was taken, the god's own voice on earth, with a third of the most devout and nearly all our Silent Sisters. His Grace King Daeron, sweet Mataris and bold Valar the Hand, oh, It was a dreadful time. By the end, half the city was praying to the stranger. He had another drink. And where were you, sir? In Dorne, said Duncan. Thank the mother for her mercy, then. The great spring sickness had never come to Dorne, perhaps because the Dornish had closed their borders and their ports, as had the Aryans of the Vale, who had also been spared. All this talk of death is enough to put a man off wine, but cheer is hard to come by in such times as we are living. The drought endures for all our prayers. The King's Wood is one great tinderbox, and fires rage there night and day.
Another problem came along, this time involving Bloodraven's own kin. In the year 211 AC, Ser Otho Bracken, aka the Brute of Bracken, was expected to become the next Lord of Stonehenge. Being the rival house, the Blackwoods were expected to go to war in order to root him out. Many suggest that Lord Brynden was inclined to refuse seeing any member of House Bracken as a way to indirectly help his Blackwood cousins. Septon Sefton can tell us a little bit more on this as well.
Lord Bracken is dying slowly on the Trident, and his eldest son perished in the spring. That means Sir Otho must succeed. The Blackwoods will never stomach the Brute of Bracken as a neighbor. It will mean war. Dunk knew about the ancient enmity between the Blackwoods and the Brackens. Won't their liege lord force a peace? Alas, said Septon Sefton. Lord Tully is a boy of 8, surrounded by women. River Run will do little, and King Aerys will do less. Unless some maester writes a book about it, the whole matter may escape his royal notice. Lord Rivers is not like to let any Brackens in to see him. Pray recall, our hand was born half Blackwood. If he acts at all, it will be only to help his cousins bring the Brute to bay. The mother marked Lord Rivers on the day that he was born, and Bittersteel marked him once again upon the red grass field.
Septon Sefton goes on to talk about the royal family, in particular, Aerys and Bloodraven. This is where Sir Duncan gets another one-on-one conversation in which someone claims that Lord Brynden uses sorcery.
As for Aerys, his grace cares more for old scrolls and dusty prophecies than for lords and laws. He will not even bestir himself to sire an heir. Queen Aelinor prays daily at the great sept, beseeching the mother above to bless her with a child, yet she remains a maid. Aerys keeps his own apartments, and it is said that he would sooner take a book to bed than any woman. He filled his cup again. Make no mistake, 'tis Lord Rivers who rules us with his spells and spies. There is no one to oppose him. Prince Makar sulks at Summerhall, nursing his grievances against his royal brother. Prince Rhaegal is as meek as he is mad, and his children are, well, children. Friends and favourites of Lord Rivers fill every office. The lords of the small council lick his hand, and this new Grand Maester is as steeped in sorcery as he is. The Red Keep is garrisoned by ravens' teeth, and no man sees the king without his leave. Dunk shifted uncomfortably in his seat. How many eyes does Lord Bloodraven have? 1,000 eyes and one.
Okay, now we have two people claiming that Bloodraven uses spells and sorcery. One comes from a bitter old knight, Sir Eustace, but the other, Septon Sefton, was a former citizen of King's Landing, and not only that, he served the old High Septon before his death, meaning his accusations might have some truth to it. To get to the bottom of this, we need to know a little more about one of the other great bastards, that being Shiera Seastar. In her time, Shiera was one of the most beautiful women in all of the Seven Kingdoms. She had a heart-shaped face and the famous long silver blonde hair of the Targaryens. Her eyes were mismatched, one blue, one green, but this only enhanced her beauty. Shiera was also known to have kept a massive library, just as her nephew, King Aerys, did, and she could speak several languages. She also was reputed to share her mother's skill in the dark arts. So why do I bring up Lady Shiera? Well, during her life, she had many paramours, but her most ardent was her half-brother, Brynden Rivers. Bloodraven loved her and proposed marriage 100 times, and although Shiera never gave him her hand, they did, however, share a bed. Now, I don't want to get into speculation, considering this is only a biography video, but I personally think that a man like Bloodraven, being in love, would want to impress Shiera as much as possible, going as far as learning the dark arts. But like I said, I don't want to speculate on this particular subject because I don't need to. There is plenty of evidence to come, but that won't be until the later years of Lord Brynden. So for now, let's hold off again on the whole sorcery issue and move on to the next big challenge facing the Hand of the King, the Second Blackfyre Rebellion. In 211 AC, the Second Blackfyre Rebellion took place during the tourney at Whitewalls, the seat of Lord Ambrose Butterwell. This was the same Lord Butterwell who had once served as Hand of the King, but was later dismissed because of his failure to act successfully against Daemon I in the early years of the First Rebellion. Under the pretense of a marriage, the tournament was used to rally lords and knights to fight on behalf of Daemon's son, Daemon II. The rebellion was squashed because of the heroic acts of Sir Duncan the Tall and Aegon IV, aka Egg. History says that Dunk and Egg were Lord Brynden's informants, hidden amongst the conspirators, but in actuality they stumbled upon the treachery, but saving the day nonetheless. Before an actual war could be launched, Bloodraven and a host of his own showed up just outside Whitewalls to crush any thought of rebellion. Let's head to the end of the Mystery Night to see exactly how the Hand of the King dealt with traitors such as Butterwell and Daemon the Pretender.
The Hand awaits, commanded Roland Craycall. Dunk stepped past him into the presence of Lord Brynden Rivers, bastard, sorcerer, and Hand of the King. Nearby, Lord Frey was seated in a camp chair with a cup of wine to hand and his hideous little heir squirming in his lap. Lord Butterwell was there as well, on his knees, pale-faced and shaking. Treason is no less vile because the traitor proves a craven, Lord Rivers was saying. I have heard your bleatings, Lord Ambrose, and I believe one word in 10. On that account, I will allow you to retain a 10th part of your fortune. You may keep your wife as well. I wish you joy of her. And Whitewalls? Asked Butterwell with quavering voice. Forfeit to the Iron Throne. I mean to pull it down stone by stone, and sow the ground that it stands upon with salt. In 20 years, no one will remember it existed. Old fools and young malcontents still make pilgrimages to the red grass field to plant flowers on the spot where Daemon Blackfyre fell. I will not suffer Whitewalls to become another monument to the Black Dragon. He waved a pale hand. Now, scurry away, roach. The Hand is kind. Butterwell stumbled off, so blind with grief that he did not even seem to recognize Dunk as he passed. No doubt Prince Maekar had some good reason for allowing his son to squire for a hedge knight, he said, though I cannot imagine it included delivering him to a castle full of traitors plotting rebellion. How is it that I come to find my cousin in this nest of adders, sir? Lord Butterbutt would have me believe that Prince Maekar sent you here to sniff out this rebellion in the guise of a mystery knight. Is that the truth of it? Dunk went to one knee. No, my lord. I mean, yes, my lord. That's what Egg told him. Prince Aegon. So that part's true. It isn't what you'd call the true truth, though. I see. So the two of you learned of this conspiracy against the crown and decided you would thwart it by yourselves. Is that the way of it? That's not it either. We just sort of blundered into it, I suppose you'd say. Lord Rivers flicked them away with his fingers, unrolled a parchment, and began to tick off names with a quill. He is marking down the men to die, Dunk realized. My lord, he said, we saw the heads outside. Is that... Will the fiddler, Daemon, will you have his head as well? Lord Bloodraven looked up from his parchment. That is for King Aerys to decide. But Daemon has 4 younger brothers and sisters as well. Should I be so foolish as to remove his pretty head, his mother will mourn, his friends will curse me for a kinslayer, and Bittersteel will crown his brother Haegon. Dead, young Daemon is a hero. Alive, he is an obstacle in my half-brother's path. He can hardly make a 3rd Blackfyre king, whilst the 2nd remains so inconveniently alive. Besides, such a noble captive will be an ornament to our court, and a living testament to the mercy and benevolence of His Grace, King Aerys.
With the conclusion of the Second Blackfyre Rebellion, I'm going to end this video here. In Part 3, we will talk about the Third Blackfyre Rebellion, the capture of Bittersteel, and the Great Council of 233. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to stay updated and be the first to watch newly uploaded videos.